Also compound your earnings on DeFi and build on Web3. This video is going to bring you that much closer to being the blockchain engineer that you would like to be. And you will also earn more income because you are going to auto compound your earnings from Curve onto Aave. We are focusing now on the Avalanche ecosystem to show you that you can use the same code on various blockchains. When you deposit stablecoins on Curve, you receive 2 rewards. That's WABAX, which is wrapped AVAX, and Curve. And then on Aave, you can actually receive rewards if you deposit it. So in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how you can take those rewards from Curve and deposit it into Aave, all using code, so you can auto compound your earnings to earn more in DeFi as well as learn to code. So it's perfect. So get comfortable and let's do this together. You are going to need your laptop if you want to follow with this tutorial right now, but feel free to chill out and we can do it later. Also, make sure you have a code editor installed like Visual Studio, and you can also install Node.js as well. So before we jump into the code, I'm going to explain the structure of the code so that you are very clear on what we're doing. So the steps required are monitoring the rewards, which is checking to see how much rewards you have, actually claiming those rewards, and then depositing it into Aave so that those rewards can compound. These steps are going to show you how to do it from scratch, so you can use this for any DeFi protocol that you like. Let's take a look at Curve, for example. So with the Aave pool, you can deposit stable coins and you receive wrapped AVAX as well as Curve. To find the smart contracts, you go into this contract part here. So now they're showing us all the smart contracts on the Avalanche blockchain. And in particular, I'm going to look at the gauge address or the gauge address because I know from reading their documentation that is the address that will take me to find the information required, such as finding out the reward tokens as well as finding out if I have any rewards to claim. So if I go on the browser and I go to the contract section and I click read contract, here I can see all the methods for the smart contract that I can read right away without even connecting to the blockchain. So as you can see, the reward tokens I can check. So I'm checking with values of 0. By the way, as a programmer, we always start at 0. So I'm checking to see what are the reward tokens on this. So I'm going to go through reward token 0, reward token 1, etc. And as you can see, whenever I get to a point where I've exhausted what the reward tokens are, it's going to return 0x000. So this is going to be good for coding. So I'll know when to stop looking for the reward tokens. Because with Curve, you can actually find some pools that have like 3 reward tokens. So this is very important. Another thing that I want to check is how can I figure out how many rewards that I have to claim? So again, they have a method called Claimable Rewards, and I can see it expects an address as well as a token address. So what I would do is I'd put my address and the tokens that are the reward tokens for that particular pool. So I'm just going to copy the reward token that I found earlier, and I am going to paste it in that section. All right, cool. And I can see I have some reward. This number is really long. I don't have like an absurd number of rewards, but in the blockchain world, the way that they denote numbers are a bit different, and they have really, really large numbers because there are no decimal places. So if you'd like to figure out what the large numbers mean in terms of decimal and what you're used to seeing, then I go to a website called ethconverter.com, and I can take that value, which currently is represented in terms of way, and see what the readable value is, which is called Ether, but it's not Ethereum, but it's called Ether because this is based on the Ethereum blockchain. Just so you can see what you're getting yourself into, and also it could just be a little bit more approachable. So I'm going to go to the Web3 documentation for the Web3.js file. And here I can see that they're telling me that I need to get the JSON interface. So what they mean is a programming interface that explains the methods that are in the smart contract. And I need to also get the address of the contract. And once I have those 2 things, I am able to then interact with the smart contract using the Web3.js library in my code. So that's why I'm just showing it to you here, where I'm copy pasting the ABI and I have the smart contract address, and then I can instantiate this contract in my code. It's going to act as though I'm instantiating an object, and I can interact with this object and send requests via the blockchain to the smart contract so I can get the question answered, which is, what are the reward tokens? So you see I'm typing here. So I'm going to create the object here. So it's going to say Aave pool smart contract new web3.eth.contract. I am not making this up. There's a documentation for me to see this. So there are guides to help you through this process. So now I'm looking at the guide again just to make sure I have everything correctly. And I'm going to go back to my code so I can ensure that I've written it correctly. So new Web3. All right, cool. So now when I'm calling my function below that I've written here called get reward tokens, I paste the contract in. And then when I call that method, I will be able to receive the rewards that we saw printed in the browser, and I could just print it to my terminal. So if I just test it here quickly to show you, I'm running the code. And boom, it told me the reward tokens that I have available. All right, so now we understand what's required to monitor the rewards. How do we claim these rewards? Again, it's the same thing. We're going to probably check for a criteria before we deposit it into the Aave smart contract, but we just need to make sure to send the transaction to the smart contract. So we're going to have to go to the Aave documentation and look for the smart contract, and then find the ABI for the smart contract that we can see very clearly in the explorers. And then once I have that, I am then able to interact with the smart contract using my code. So if this is very exciting and you just can't wait to start, then yeah, let's start.